Hey you guys, it's Keri Johnson coming to you live in our manifesting group with day one of the Wealth Zone. This is going to be a 5-day free live event this week, and we're going to touch on everything that I love to talk about. Everything that will get you the life that you desire. So if you are hopping on, say hello to me because I would love to know who's watching. Hopefully I'll be able to see comments too, because sometimes I don't know how that works. But anyways, the Wealth Zone is your permission to prosper in all areas of your life, not just money. Prosperity does not just bring you money. And there are a lot of wealthy people that I know that have the money, but they don't have the happiness. And I know people who have had the money, have lost the money, have had the relationships, lost the relationships, the big houses, the jewels, the gems, the nice cars, everything, and they're not happy. They're still not happy. They have what everybody thinks will make you happy or me happy, everything that we want, all these desires. We see people that have them and they're not happy. They're still missing something. And what are they missing? They are, hey Paula, how are you? They are missing part of their grid. They're missing part of the wealth zone. And as we know that money does not create happiness, it buys us things, I guess. But we need to get to the bottom of what is going to create happiness and fulfillment now, no matter what you have, to be thankful for everything that you have in this very, very, very moment. And the first thing that I want to talk about is fear. It is the biggest bully in all areas for everybody of their life. I don't want to say all areas because some people don't, are not afraid of certain things. But for most people, fear is what holds them back with everything. So for a minute, I want you to think about where in your life have you felt held back because you were afraid to do something? And did you push through? And did you get to where you wanted to go? Did you push through? Because there are always miracles and there's always fun on the other side of fear. And I'm not talking of being in a situation where you're in danger or in immediate danger, just the illusion of fear that holds us back. The illusion, because if it's not happening right this very second, it's not happening. And we are all very, very good at creating this Hollywood, Oscar-winning story, building it. I mean, we have got characters, we've got outfits, we've got streets, we've got other people involved of this catastrophe that we think would happen. That's fear. Thinking and anticipating pain, anticipating a crisis, anticipating a catastrophe. So I prefer not to allow fear to run the show because I know that I've seen too many miracles, and I know that we create our days and we create whatever we want. So fear is not allowed to be a part of my world. Obviously it's there as a friend. Fear thinks it's our friend, actually. And it shows up to protect us. But we don't have a bear chasing us anymore. We don't have a lion chasing us anymore. But if we think about something that we are afraid of, if we think about the biggest fear, we start to get those feelings on the inside of us, which trigger fear, your friend, and it needs to show up and be like, okay, where do you want me, boss? Where do you want me? And then another voice comes in our head to give us evidence of the thing that we're afraid about. Well, why are you doing that? Why do you think you should do that? That's not a very good idea. Weren't you taught all your life that you weren't allowed to do that? And then we start to believe all these different voices that are in our head. So there, in my mind, are two emotions, love and fear. And anything negative that someone is doing or thinking or saying is coming from a place of fear. If you're frustrated, if you have anxiety, if you are worried, if you run into someone who's being belligerent at the store, it's all from fear. They're afraid of something. What? We don't know. We can only take care of ourselves. Any positive emotion is going to come from a state of love. So how do you diffuse fear? And I want to give you an example, a story of my daughter, Kerrigan. This is her superpower, diffusing fear on people. Adults, raging adults. At 2 years old, she could look at someone and be like, are you angry or just frustrated? She wouldn't run and hide. That was her question. Are you angry or are you just frustrated? And immediately, the person would diffuse. She does this in school when the principals are chasing after her because she's out of dress code. and she's running from them because they're going to get, put her in detention or whatever. And she turns around and she goes, "I love you, Principal so-and-so." And immediately they stop and smile. So anyways, that's her superpower, diffusing fear with love. Okay, it's challenging because when one person's raising, their temperament, you want to raise yours, and then all of a sudden all your emotions get into it. But we cannot allow fear to run the show. We can't. So where has fear stopped you? I know that I wouldn't have moved. I wouldn't have done half the things that I did if I allowed fear in my life. I wouldn't know that I love roller coasters. I wouldn't know that I love traveling. I wouldn't know that I, love running my own businesses. But I had to start out of survival as well, which I was worried. I was in fear, way back when. So everybody is afraid of something. My grandmother was afraid of driving a car. She was afraid of water. She was afraid of swimming. People are afraid to eat because they're afraid they're going to gain weight. People are afraid to make money because they're afraid that they may lose relationships. People are afraid once they make money, then they're going to lose money. People are afraid that if they don't have a relationship, they're not going to feel loved. But if they do get that relationship, what happens if they leave? I mean, does this sound crazy? It sounds insane to me, and it doesn't sound like a very easy flowing life because of fear. So one thing that I love to say is nothing has power over me. Nobody has power over me. And for a long time, people did have power over me because I grew up in that paradigm of listening, and we learn from our surroundings. We learn things from our families, from society, and we were taught to be quiet. We were taught to be respectful, and we were taught to, work hard. The paradigm of, working hard, makes the money. We were taught all sorts of things that when I became an adult, I'm like, that doesn't really make sense to me. It doesn't feel good to me on the inside. So I had to start breaking free of some of the things that didn't serve me. And then the more I broke free, the more people were angry about it because they were losing control. But it doesn't matter because I'm not living for everybody else. I'm living for me. I'm not working for anybody else. I'm working for me. My vision. I create my vision right here in my hands. So in order for me to have this vision, the plan has to come from me and also from my intuition. Not only from my mind. My mind gets in the way because of all the noises and voices and stuff. Hi, Edna. So I like to listen to my intuition because it's the truth of what I'm really supposed to be doing. My mind doesn't guide me. It guides me like it's too linear. If I can imagine my mind being a boardroom table full of CEOs all dressed in suits, and it's kind of black and white. They're not even color. Very boring, very boring. And they're very precise. I think you should be doing this. If you want to make money, you should be doing this. I think you should be doing this. Now my intuition, on the other hand, seems like a frat party. But you know who's in the frat party? Steve Jobs, Tesla, Napoleon Hill, Edison. There was one more I had in there. When they were teenagers, they had fun. I don't think they all hung out together, but they had fun. And they know the vision. They know the vision outside of the box. They know the vision outside of the mind. Juliana, hi. So I like to listen to my intuition, even if it doesn't sound like it's something I should be doing. Go to the beach, go get ice cream. Wait, what? I've got all this stuff to do. Take a break. My mind goes, what? Don't tell her to take a break. They start fighting. Don't tell her to take a break. She can't take a break. She needs to hustle. She needs to do. She needs to go and be. But who do I listen to get further? I've got to listen to the frat party because it's the truth. I do want to hear about where you guys are blocked with fear, or what's holding you back from moving forward. the one thing too is that everybody in my family was always on diets, and they were always afraid to eat things. And I hear this time and time again. If I even just look at that piece of cake over there, I'm going to gain weight. Your body's listening, and it might go, you don't even have to eat it. We're just going to add pounds to you just because you mentioned it, because you said so. So the things that we say are so backwards in this magical world that we live in, because we truly, truly, truly can have, create, and do anything we want, and be anything we want. As long as we desire it, we have the vision for it, and we put our aligned action towards it, and that's where the intuition comes in. Even if your aligned action is to go to the beach for the day, even if your aligned action is to go have some ice cream and just chill, if it's coming from your intuition, you have got to listen to it. Because guess who might be at the ice cream store? Guess who might be at Starbucks? Guess who might be in the parking lot or at the beach? Possibly the person that will get you to the next step of your journey. And that's one thing I always tell my daughters, especially. They don't want to work. They don't want to go to the restaurants. They don't want to work in the all these jobs. They want to have their own businesses. Well, they're younger anyways, but I'm like, you have no idea. Like, one job, it's not going to be your career, but who you can meet in the path of that job, who you're supposed to meet in that path of that job, will get you to the next step, the next step, the next step. But now, for the rest of us, adults, we've already done that. Now it's time to quantum leap into quantum jump. We don't need to do all those jobs anymore. We need just to line up with what we want, get focused on it, get rid of those voices in our head. Tell fear, thank you so much for showing up, but not today. Because I know the miracle's on the other side. I know the miracle. So you put fear in the backseat of your car and you keep driving forward, no matter how fearful it looks. Not danger, but scary like being visible, scary like, I don't know what everyone's doing, so help me out. Stop creating the Oscar-winning story about how terrible things are going to be or become, and turn it into your fantasy. It's just as easy to look up as it is down. It's just as easy to think positive as it is negatively. So it's very important, if you're going to be creating that horrific story about fear, what's the opposite of it? What do I really want? Wow, look at that vision I have. Look at where we're going. Look at what's happening. And start seeing evidence of that. Don't keep any of the negative stuff. Don't keep building on that, because it's not true. It's an illusion. So we don't want to manifest any of that stuff to come in. So I think it's really important for everybody to understand that, no one, nothing has power over you at all. We are all warriors here. We are walking our own path, and not to ever take someone's opinion that doesn't matter to you. Who cares? Like, and if there's something that comes up in your mind, well, but I'm afraid of this. So what? What's going to happen then? What's the worst case scenario? Don't give me the Hollywood story of it, so what? Well, they might think, who cares? Who cares what they think? Who cares? So run those stories in your head, so you can flip the switch, and you can be like, yeah, you know what? There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. We were taught a long time ago, or I haven't really been taught how to prosper in all areas of my life. I thought it was money, until I see all these people with money that aren't happy, and then afraid to have it, then they lose it. So how do you hang on to your money once you have it? 2, why does it come and leave? Or why are there desires out there that we can't attain, or they don't come in? And we're doing everything. We're doing our manifesting affirmations every day. We're jumping around. We're doing everything that everybody says. All the 55 times 5. You don't need to do that. But as my post said this morning, when you are coding your desire with an outcome, with a result that you must have to make you feel a certain way, it won't come in. And if it does come in, if it does sneak in because you've gotten to the frequency, the vibration of it, it won't last, because it doesn't have a foundation to stand on. So we've got to start the foundation, the true foundation, to understand that nothing out there, no one out there will give us what we can give ourselves on the inside. We think money's going to bring freedom. We think money's going to bring security. It doesn't. People lose it all the time, and then where are they at? Money will pay your bills. We need money, obviously. But your security comes from within. Your power comes from within. Your energy comes from within and from above. And we can download and call on it at any moment. Half the time, most people don't use the powers to be in the quantum field. They think that we have to do it all ourselves, and we don't. It's too much. It's too much. And if you're exhausted, you're not using the energy from the quantum field. So let's talk about the paradigms a little bit. We're either here to master the paradigm that we grew up in, master it, or we're here to shatter the paradigm and create a new one. And I will tell you guys that I am here to shatter the paradigm because it doesn't make sense for me. I feel like I'm playing the opposite game. And I'm just going to create a new one. And I will give you a couple examples of this. So if you've ever said, I'm not going to eat that cake today because it's going to make me gain weight, then you better be the best damn dieter ever, to the point where you can walk by that cake and not even want it. All of a sudden, cake looks terrible to you. You're never even going to want the cake. Then you see some girl coming by, she grabs the whole piece of cake, maybe even two of them, eats the whole thing, and she's a size 0 in her fancy clothes, beautiful looking, and she can eat anything that she wants to. She doesn't care. Her paradigm is, if my body enjoys it, I'm going to eat it. Now, you probably don't have to eat the whole pie, but so what? If you have the mentality that you can eat the whole pie and not gain any weight over it because you're going to be giving your body the nutrients it needs and then dispelling whatever else it doesn't want, you can eat anything you want. Don't get caught up in, oh, if I look at it, I'm going to gain weight, because your body hears you. And that's not even fair, because you don't even get to eat the cake and you're still gaining weight. So it's all a mind game. It's all a game. It's all a trick. It's all a trick. So I don't like to be limited ever. I don't like when people tell me, well, new businesses, it takes this long, 5 years, whatever to get. No, it doesn't. Mm-mm. Oh, you'll never be able to meet that type of person. No, that's not true, because you don't know that you don't have the book of law of everything. The sky's the limit. No, it's not. It's just the resting spot where everybody refuels, and then we can pierce through the sky. So the ones that are going to master their paradigms are going to get to the sky and sit on the cloud and think that they've made it. I finally did it. I'm here. Look at me. Thank God. I've got money in the bank. I've got, a happy family. And then all of a sudden they're going to see this vastness of all these other people raising up, flying past. All I see in like the new version of superheroes, all in black latex with black capes, stopping for the pit stop on the clouds and just going into the universe, because there's more. The sky is not the limit. Don't limit us. The universe is abundant. It's vast. And that would be a matter of shattering your paradigm and creating a new one. Or master your current one and be the best damn person that you are with what you were dealt with. Either way, there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. But don't want desires that are not attainable because you're putting mucky words, thoughts, feelings against them. Know how to get your desires. Know why you want that desire, and know why you don't want that desire. Because a lot of people really don't want to get there. They're afraid, once I get there, this might happen. I really want it. I kind of want it. I don't know if I want it. Your subconscious and your mind is like, we don't know what you want either. We don't know what you want. So be clear on your desires and know that the power is within us. And I always love saying, like, which I totally believe too, tomorrow hasn't been created. Tomorrow has not been created yet. And imagine for a moment if we just think a different thought. It doesn't have to look like today. It doesn't have to look like yesterday. But if you go to bed with the same thoughts and you wake up with the same thoughts, and then you go to bed with the same thoughts and you wake up with the same thoughts, damn right, tomorrow and 10 years are going to look like the same and nothing will change. nothing will change. So re-script your day for tomorrow. If you want a different day, re-script it, because if everything's an illusion, we create whatever we want. Live intentionally. Listen to your intuition. Every morning is going to be a blank slate unless you create what you want to do. But allow for the universe to deliver more, because the universe is obviously bigger than we are. Our small brains, we can only think so much. The universe wants to deliver, so don't limit the universe. Don't say, oh, I only want this much, or I only want to do this, because you'll just get that. I would like this and more. Show me more. You know what I want. Show me, show me. Please, I'm open to it. Thank you so much for everything that you've delivered to me. Life is so magical. I can't wait to see how you're going to bring this one in, because I know it's true, but I have no idea how. And I'm so glad I don't need to do the how. One less thing we all have to worry about is the how. Leave the how up to the universe. How's everybody doing? Let's see. There was one other thing that I wanted to talk about. I think it was about a lot of people not thinking that their desires are worth having because they already have enough, and wanting more would be greedy. Well, if we live in this abundant world where there's no lack in anything, in money, in anything, you can have yours. You can have as much as you want, because it's like a waterfall. And the next person can have theirs, and the next person can have theirs as well. And we only seem to think this way when it comes to money or things. We don't say this about health. We don't say, well, I'll only take 75% of my health, and then I'll leave 25% of it on the table for someone else. We want to be 100% healthy, right? So we should be 100% magically fulfilled across the board. And you want it, because you can have it, period, the end. You don't have to give an excuse on why you want it. You don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't have to think about, well, if I have that, then I might feel a little bit more worthy than I do now, or that person might like me better if I have it, or if I'm, the CEO of this company, then, my family really would be more proud of me. No, forget it. Oh, Edna, thank you. Oh, good, Mark. Good. No, you don't owe anybody an explanation. You want it because you want it, and you want it. That's it. Because you can have it. So why not? Why not? It's as simple as that. Don't taint it with the crap that we grew up with. Don't taint it. Don't let that child version of yourself come up and, upset the adults because there's a trigger, and the trigger reminded you of when you were 9 or 12, or something happened at school, or something happened at home. Don't allow it. Talk to the child. It's okay. I got this. Don't worry about it. You don't need to be afraid anymore. You don't need to be afraid. It's time to fly. It's time to change this paradigm and fly. So create your day for tomorrow, or leave it up to the universe and wake up with a clean slate. Okay, it's a clean canvas. And I'm going to listen to my intuition. I'm going to listen to my intuition and take the necessary steps, the next step. Show me the next step to get to my vision. And I'm going to listen to you. And if it means going for ice cream, go for ice cream. And when you have that ice cream, my body is gonna enjoy this ice cream. I absolutely love this ice cream. It's gonna take only the vitamins that it needs, and the rest of it's just gonna go away. Like vegetables. Do not be afraid to eat your food. Do not be afraid to enjoy your food. Don't be afraid to enjoy. And don't be afraid to celebrate your victories before they even come in. Celebrate your vision now. So that's all I have today on day 1 of the Wealth Zone. Tomorrow, I really want to talk more about money, pitfalls in business, where you're leaving money on the table, and a lot of things and mistakes that I see new entrepreneurs doing. So I think tomorrow's going to be a really good one too. So if anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, #Wealth Zone. And I hope everyone has an amazing day, and fear's not allowed today, right? All right, see you guys later.